So shall we move on to a team that was in the doldrums, a team that had absolutely no clue what was going to happen, just like the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets. They could be coming out and being able to kind of make their way in the NFL again if they get this offseason absolutely perfect.
Okay. For their needs, I could have listed every position, okay? I literally could have. But I'm just going to give you the three I think that they should focus on to make the best step forward this year, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm leaving quarterback out of it because either way they're going to be settled, be it Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson. I think they should go with Wilson, but think they'll keep Darnold. I'll let you tell everybody what you think in a minute. So I think you got to get an edge rusher. That's three top positions: quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher. So your quarterback, protect your quarterback, kill your quarterback, right? That's like the NFL nowadays. So edge rusher, I think you need a wide receiver.
They need a weapon. Like, it's not even just a wide receiver. It's just any weapon.
Okay, fair enough. Because I do have running back as one of their needs too. Just I don't think it's as pressing. Because I think you can get running backs late, serviceable ones. And then you need a corner or a safety. I don't care which one. But you need a leader in that secondary that's going to lead you for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they just need so much. They just need so much, which is why I want to address this idea of so PFF have said that quarterback is their number one need. Quarterback is not their number one need. Quarterback is a nice luxury that they have through the amount of picks.
It's the number one thing they have to figure out. But I agree with you.
Exactly. A lot of teams would be very happy with Sam Darnold. Imagine giving the Washington football team Sam Darnold right now. Imagine how happy they would be. And there's a few other teams. San Francisco, the 49ers, that's their one for Sam Darnold is going to come up later when we talk about the New England Patriots as well. I think Sam Darnold is an absolute baller. If you think of his game against Dallas in 2019, coming off mono and beating them for 338 yards. And that was when Dallas were actually like, they were half decent. Like their defense was actually okay. It wasn't this season. Then you also have the fact that the games that they won was down to Sam Darnold just deciding, all right, today's my day, let's go. And obviously he's only 23 years old. Like he's going to be inconsistent. I think the main problem for Sam Darnold is the New York media have done him a bit dirty. Well, so I'm seeing ghosts. Yeah, go for it.
With Sam Darnold, now I know you're a big Darnold fan, but this is my only question. Knowing that you have to pay this kid coming up.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should take the risk, pay him and keep going? Or do you think, so let's say because you like him, they stay with him. Do you think they should give him a big contract right away? Or do you think they should play the franchise game with him a little bit? The 50-year option, then the franchise game.
I think if you play the franchise game, then you kind of have a nice problem at the end, really, don't you? Like, I wouldn't be certain enough. I'm not certain enough on him to say give him a big contract. I think if you play the franchise game and you lose, like Dallas did yesterday, then at least you have that's a nice problem for the Jets. Like, at least then they know they've got a quarterback. So they'll be happy if they play the franchise game and lose. If they play the franchise game and it turns out he's not as good as I think he is, as people like Colin Cowherd thinks he is, then that's also, you haven't really lost anything by playing that game. I think the Jets will pick Zach Wilson at number 2. I think they will. I think what they could do, and what me and Mel Kiper think that they could do, is trade back to Atlanta, which I think are number 4. Yeah, Atlanta have got the 4th pick, so they could trade back to Atlanta, or they can trade back to Carolina, who are number 8. And they could that lets them 2 teams get their quarterback, and then could pick a weapon like Kyle Pitts. Now, Kyle Pitts is a tight end, but he is also one of the best wide receivers, in my opinion, having watched the film as well. Like, the guy is an animal. So you could do that, but I do think they'll pick Zach Wilson at number 2.
I don't know how we can agree and disagree at the same time, but we
it's
one, if you're agreeing with Colin Cowherd, you might want to rethink that. But I honestly wish they would take Zach Wilson, but I think they're going to trade back to Carolina and take Pitts. That's exactly what I have right here in my notes. Because I don't see a team that's going to take a tight end as great as he is that early with the guys who are still there. So I think he'll fall.
I think the only problem with Carolina, if they wanted to be certain, they would trade back to Atlanta. But the only problem with Carolina is you're behind the Eagles and Detroit.
Well,
who also
I don't think that.
Well.
I think if the Jets trade back, they're not trading back just to get Pitts. They're trading back.
They're trading back for more picks. Like it
I just
really well.
with when I went through making my own mock draft, I had him falling there.
Yeah.
So I think they'll trade out because I heard Carolina's going to be real aggressive.
Yeah,
but Carolina, my personal opinion is, if all things are equal, start over with Zach Wilson, because I think part of the problem with trading for Darnold, which makes him a little less valuable, is you're not 100% sure what you have, and you got to pay him.
Yeah. I could see, I can see why. I think also injects, so like with the new things that are coming, it kind of injects a new freshness, as well as like new regime, new philosophy with Robert Saleh, new quarterback as well. And Zach Wilson, if you watch him, he is Hollywood. Like he's a Hollywood kind of player. Patrick Mahomes, like those side-down throws, and you think, great for the New York media. The guy's got a bit of swagger. And not only that, but I think it kind of works for Sam Darnold as well. If Sam Darnold gets traded to the 49ers or the Washington football team or Carolina, if they don't manage to get their quarterback, then that would work really well for him. Like a new start for Sam Darnold would work really well. So I wouldn't be upset if they didn't do it. Zach Wilson is a talented quarterback. He's got a great off-balance throw. He's just an entertaining quarterback. I was surprised when watching it how strong his run game is. So if the Jets mess up in the rest of their offseason, which is highly plausible, then you kind of want Zach Wilson because he can kind of win a game by himself.
I don't know how much personnel decisions Robert Saleh is going to have in this.
Yeah.
But if he came in taking this job going, Sam's my quarterback, then you got to keep him because that's what dude wants, right? Like, also, the Jets have $70 million in cap space. And just so everybody knows, the cap is 182.5 this year. They announced it this morning. So if you're going, the Jets only have 68 million. I added the 2 million to the cap because of what they gave us this morning. But that's $70 million in cap space. And there is going to be a lot of really good mid-level players. You can fill your team with so much depth, and you don't even have to take home run swings. And with either quarterback and the way things are going to go, isn't it a win if they win 6, 7, 8 games this year? Isn't that a freaking win for the Jets?
Yeah, I mean, if they go all out, I could see them actually challenging. Like I'm looking at it.
No, but I'm saying, like, don't you think so much?
But that road to improvement. Yeah, that road to improvement is really important. Is really important for them. This season, I do think if they it's not a case because they have so much cap room. It's not a case where if they pick Zach Wilson, they're not able to also get weapons, and they have so many draft picks as well. So they draft second. So let's say they pick Zach Wilson at second, and then decide they want to get a weapon for him at the 23rd pick as well. Rashad Bateman is falling that far.
Yeah,
by all accounts, Bateman's kind of falling.
I'm still waiting to see the whole Deshaun Watson thing too, because they're one of the teams that you think could just because of the draft capital.
Yeah, but one of the I just don't think it's smart for them to go for Deshaun Watson because it kind of gives up their whole ability to go get everyone else. Because of how much cap room they've got, they can actually acquire weapons for Wilson in free agency as well. If they pick Wilson, they can also do the same for Darnold.
So you never want. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So you've got Hunter Henry, you've got Kenny Golladay. that you can go pick. They've got AJ Green if they really want to go down that route. There's people that they can go get.
If I'm the Jets, though, I don't go for those big end names. I go for the middle of the road, cheaper ones, only because I'm a firm believer. Now, there's an exception to every rule, obviously. And if you're a contender and you think you're one player away, it's different. But I have this theory that free agency is a tax on teams who don't draft good.
Yeah.
Like you got to overpay because you didn't know how to draft, right? So, like, Galladay is going to break the bank.
Oh, yeah, like, Galladay's going to make
I'm
some
just saying, if you're the Jets, do you really want to bring in a receiver for 18 to 20 million a year when you're still real building with everything else? That's kind of my thing. But now
they just have so much cap space, and it brings in it brings in some. They've been so terrible for so long that you would think bringing in a star wide receiver and a prospective star at QB gives some more hope, like gets people in the stadium, gets hope, shirt sales with Wilson, number 1 on the back, Kenny Golladay, whatever his number is, shirt sales go flying through the roof for those kind of guys. Because the Jets their fan base is solid, man. Like their fan base are hardcore. So they've got those kind of guys. Why not trade for the thing is, if you go for those mid-round receivers, that allows you to trade for someone like Shaq Barrett. Let's move to. We've talked a lot about their offense, but their defense is terrible as well. So
yeah, and that's it. It's just if you're one of those guys, do you want to go there? That's kind of the question too. So do you end up really overpaying for a free agent because he doesn't really want to play for you? I think it's the weird stuff like that.
Yeah, like the thing is though, Robert Saleh is respected around.
Correct.
Is respected around the league. I think Shaq Barrett either stays at Tampa or goes looking for the money. So any team with the cap space that can make him go there is the team that he'll go to. Because if you're like, oh, I want a bit of money, but I also want to win championships, then you stay with Tampa because they're willing to pay a bit of money to Shaq Barrett. They're just not willing to make him like the highest paid guy. So I think you can, if he wants the money, the Jets are the person that can give it to him. There are not many teams that really need him as much as willing to pay for him like a crazy amount of money. And I think the Jets are where he could end up, and it would be a good move for the Jets as well.
They got so much money, they get to play free and have fun with this offseason.
Yeah, they can do it. They can do all sorts of crazy
stuff.
So
every good player, they can go, yeah, we could use him.
Yeah, exactly. They should be in the talk for every good player this season. And there's a lot of hope around the Jets, and I really like to see that. Also, Richard Sherman is another free agent. I think they could kind of go for. You said they need a leader on the defensive end. Well, Richard Sherman's that leader. Robert Saleh defense, so he's worked.
Don't think it's a bad idea. I just think Sherman's going to go ring chasing, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, he could.
Granted, he's already got a ring, but I think you know what I mean.
He could go get another one to make his name a great. Yeah.
Well, Maddie, just to give everybody a preview, where do you want to head next with the NFC or the AFC?
AFC South. Straight into the AFC South. Yeah.
There'll be a lot to talk about there. I'm pretty sure we covered most everything, unless there's something else you need to say on the NFC East or AFC.
The NFC East, I've got a lot to say on, but the AFC East, no, I think we've covered it. I think that's a very in-depth chat about the AFC East there.
Well, guys, everybody, thanks for checking us out. You can follow the Yankee and the Brit on Twitter. And if you do, I guarantee you, if you're a UFC fan, I got a lot of stuff for you while I'm tweeting during the UFCs. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button on Facebook, follow. Other platforms will be coming, Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Check us out on there if you don't want to look at us. Also, tell a friend to tell a friend. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.